and it looks like they've got a favorite site right away. Everybody grouping up outside this A site.
Yeah, just with the wall going down, the executor's gonna come in at any time, and it's gonna be a fast plant. Don't want to lose any time. I'm kind of concerned about Riggs. They decided to start on the defense here, but yesterday they could only score 2 rounds on this side.
Stay down.
Good stuff by Ness with Jupi down. This is going to become much more difficult for Riggs to get one of those first rounds on the board, right? As you said, their defense not necessarily fantastic when we saw them last, so winning a pistol could be so valuable. Let's see if they can follow through with that, just being picked apart on their way back into the site so far. Basically nothing for them to do. You need a hero to step up in a moment like this. Maybe we've got one. No, we don't. rainssa makes sure of that to put it 1-0 for Oxxgen. Now, there's always going to be a lot to do. When it comes down to Riggs's defense, to start things off, playing just on one side of the map, right? Very heavily focused around that B site, getting pushed down on A, you're locked out, and then you lose a couple of duels here and there. It's never going to make things easy to get back in. I think they gambled, and Oxxgen went the exact opposite way, the way Riggs hoped. And the same thing's happening here in the second round. Riggs on an eco, stack up on A, and Oxxgen just walk on a B.
Pretty much are playing around that Sage wall, and it's giving them great results. Just going for the safe one, taking mid control. This is going to be a hard one for Riggs, as Padge has already taken some damage, but Jupi finds the first one.
Yeah, that should be a little bit of saving grace for them, but then you come up against these stronger weapons, the armor's there to play with, and absolutely everything goes the way of Oxxgen. One more kill would be fantastic, but it can't be found by poor old Padge, and so 2-0 we go. Very strong start for Oxxgen on the attack, and only losing one player there means they get to play a comfy bonus round.
I think it's great to see teams that have this 2 rounds so well prepared, knowing exactly what they're going to do and how they're going to execute them, so they really do not need to think or, you know, adapt to what the other team is thinking. Okay, we're going to go on A. If we have an easy plan, we're going to play for post plan, and this is what we're going to do on the second round. Pretty much clear, and we need to think about how important this round is now for Riggs.
Oh yeah, this is a round that Riggs have to win. Oxxgen are coming in with basically nothing. Look, it's Spectres, it's a Ghost, and on a map like this where range is the name of the game, this is exactly what you want to see. Oxxgen using their poison orb, their wall, to block off cover and start moving towards this site. They've even tagged up the Sage and Jupi very low. They then drop Raina. I mean, this is everything about this is perfect.
It's great the way that they've used again the Sage wall so early, and then, you know, created another wall with the Viper wall, just creating their own space to play around B. This could be another round for them because this flag has already gone down and they have control very much. Ooh, not everything.
Not anymore, at least. Yeah, Jaya getting dropped right away. That's an opening for Riggs to get back in, but time's going to be the big issue. Now they have still got a nice wall to play with, so they can pop this down, go for the little diffuse.
Oh,
it's on the flank. A little bit too far away to do a lot.
You cannot shoot again. Oh my.
He got it.
Okay, she got it.
Okay, that was incredibly close. The fact that, so down inside the ice wall, you put a snake bite in.
The utility sometimes is just not enough. You don't activate the orb. But the operator comes for Ness. See if she expects H to be here.
A nice kill on the Sonya, but no idea that Padge is down below. The triple almost comes through. But her life is cut short. The numbers left even as Oxxgen again look towards this A site. With the Viper still online, they can have this walled out and have a pretty easy plant. Coming into the last minute of the round, they're waiting for the flank, and that even comes through perfectly.
Yeah, I like the fact that Jupi was, you know, trying to get some control over what was going on mid. But they decided to pull full retake on this A site. I don't know if they're gonna. I mean, I think that probably it's time to save. See if Raina can pull something through. But on this, I mean, they do have the time. Don't get me wrong, and the wall to work around it. But oof, it's a tough one when you don't have enough info.
Yeah,
and not pressure to the back. Yeah.
You gotta find an opening right now. They need a kill, and if they don't find one, they won't be going for it. There it is. Noia finds it. Now they can get right back into this when the wall goes down, but there's a player on the site, and surely that's going to be the surprise factor they need. Proxima coming in from above to close out that round. A tight one, but ultimately Oxxgen putting it 3-1.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to retrieve that operator, but it still is another round for them. Not passively at all. They're deciding on the side that they want to attack. They do have the plan, and they do have the firepower to find those duels. And as I said, I expected, you know, Riggs to even save those guns, because even when you try to retrieve that control over A, when the Viper is still alive, and you know that they have the means to play for post-plant, if you don't have that pressure and that control, it's going to be really tough for you. And as the Viper wall is going to, again, on A, probably we're going to see more of the same. You know, like the fact that Gia is going to probably wait on spawn, because look at that mid push. Okay.
Wow.
Right
I mean, she's looking right at that mid push, that's for damn sure. Shutting down Noia immediately. And with that kill, I mean, I like the adaptation from Oxygen. They realize that if they're going to play solo for A site, they have to have control behind, and just a turret on the corner doesn't really do the trick. They add the extra depth, they get the kill, and now a plant is in with a man advantage. Oxygen are looking so clean.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that Riggs only has the sheriff to play this round, but it was really impressive, as you were saying. Gia decides to step back because she took control over mid before. She's like, they're gonna push, and if they have a low buy, they're gonna go for this one. Let's see if Padge can pull some kills here, but it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, with those pistols, I mean, you're looking at the Blade Storm, the only one to find a kill so far, and with 4 more to take down, it's just never gonna happen. And 100% agree, you know, when you look at a round like that, where your opponents have pistols, how many times do we see it across all the regions of VCT where teams throw them away? They lose to the pistols. Whereas Oxygen, they're being so conscious of what their opponents are doing, and they're conditioning them perfectly. It seems like they're playing a different level of Valorant for now.
They're reading into the read. They know that they're gonna go onto that push, so they adapt to the adaptation. That is so clean. And probably they're gonna go for something more standard, maybe somewhat more passive on this round. This is another very important round for them, because it's a full buy from Riggs. And let's see what they do regarding mid control. They're gonna take it slow this time.
Yeah, and no surprise, right? Last round they pushed and there was a player waiting for them in their spawn, so you're going to be much more cautious about taking aggression. Now, we did see Noia push down, though, and pop a wall that stops Oxygen from taking mid control for quite a while. This is giving them the ability to rotate. I
love that wall. We see it a lot in EMEA. They're going to walk into Viper's Ult, see if they expect Raina to be here, because this could be massive. This could be the round for Riggs.
What? That was a double? I mean, obviously they're decayed so much inside the ult that just the one bullet to the leg will do it. But now, the Viper's pit on the other side gets activated. Oxygen look for the plant on site, and Riggs are gonna have a tough time. This started out with their own pit with a double kill, but after the res, numbers were even. Still, the picks go their way. Padge buying her way right back to the back of yellow, and no one's currently there for Oxygen, but they got the tag off. A free kill traded off. Jupi gets caught because the Viper's dead. The pit falls, and somehow that works perfectly for Oxygen. That was not planned, but somehow it played right into their hand.
No, please give me a replay of that. That is just so unlucky. The Viper's been just going down at that very moment. I mean, the plan was there, but maybe it was too late. The choreography was definitely not that way. Oh my god, that is just so unlucky. Just imagine. That was literally just Christmas. It's another round where they, again, just go and plant around the sage wall just to give them that extra comfort. Even though they have the Viper's ult, they know that they're playing against Sova, they know that they can gather the info, and I just think they're playing beautifully.
Oh, absolutely. This is a pleasure to watch. This is absolutely fantastic Valorant. And another opening pick with Padge, not able to get out of the choke point in time. Oxygen get the man advantage. Obviously, they have the weaponry advantage as well, and tagging up Noia in the corner. Oh, well, surprisingly, she's made it out of there. So they can count their lucky stars for that one at least, but still a man down. And as they're stacked up on A, Oxygen look like they'll walk onto a free B.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that they're not giving us the same round over and over. They do have a lot of plans. They're not scared to rotate. They're not scared of just pushing to almost despawn. But again, the wall is gonna come down, and this is gonna be probably just play for post plant. Why would you take risks on this situation?
Yeah, absolutely. You just keep your range. There's no point in getting up close and giving these weapons the kind of fights that they want. Obviously, the Marshal's a little bit of a special case on that one. We'll see if Jupi can get some headshots in there.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
That's one. I mean, the round is 99% lost, but it's about damage, right? It's about dropping those rifles. And sadly, they only get the one kill on the side of Riggs as Oxygen just build up so much cash at this point.
Yeah, and this round, I would love to see some push from Rix, just playing around that rest that Noia has. I think that we're going to have a, tactical pause here. They need to talk about how they're going to approach this round, because I think that this is probably, with this score, the most important round of this half. It's going to be not only the full buy, but also the operator, and I think also the time for the aggression. Also, after this pause, I would love to see what the response is from Oxxgen, because they're proven that they can do anything, that they can adapt to any situation. So especially when it's the round after the pause, I'm really eager to see what they're going to pull through.
Yeah, I'm presuming at this stage this is a tactical on the side of Rix, but obviously could be technical as well. Still, one thing's for sure, there is plenty to fix on this defensive side. And we saw them obviously lose the pistol, so being 6-1 down at this point is somewhat acceptable. It means in terms of impactful rounds, I mean, they won their the anti-bonus as tight as it was. They've ended up in a position where they kind of need to win now. This is like the grace period is over. If we see Oxxgen push up to 8 or 9 rounds, I mean, we can already start kissing this map goodbye.
I mean, they knew that this was a great map for Oxxgen. They also know that their result yesterday, even though we couldn't see it, it wasn't the best. So obviously they're going to play around that, and it's also, it is the first map. I mean, you're still a little bit warming up. I was concerned about this defense. I'm still seeing that, but I feel like this round is going to be the difference.
It certainly could be for Rix. And look at this adaptation on the mid control. They're going to start pushing up with the operator, the drone leading the way, baiting Gia into the open, where she gets shut down by Padge's operator. That's the opening pick that Rix have been looking for. Last time they found it, there was immediately a res. This time that's not possible, so Oxxgen have to play a man down.
Yeah, and it's not only that. Now that they have the advantage, they know it's not time to push. I would like Noia to just stop right there. Do have that mid control, but just gather the info and leave. You're not on the position to keep pushing, because this round could be yours just by time.
They spotted the proxima still in towards the spawn. This is going to give an idea that a rotate's coming through, and Noia almost catches them, giving a little bit of a haircut away, but Oxxgen escape with their lives, and now they start to focus up. They haven't really given away where they want to go, but that Viper wall certainly tells Rix that this is going to be a B hit.
Yeah, the rotations are coming in. This is a pretty good read from Rix. Let's see how they play around this. Of course, the sage wall is going to come down here. Probably go for the plant as well. Oh, that is great. Oh,
even walked into the snake bite. That could have been very, very dangerous, but just about evading it still. The spike needs to come in, and with plenty of players in spawn spamming away, they want to deal with them, and that's exactly what comes through. A huge pick for Oxxgen, but they still need to plant that spike. Vipers towards the back. Double kill comes in. 10 seconds left. Down goes the spike.
Amazing.
And it is done. Really well handled by Rix to get their second round.
Yeah, this is the Rix that I actually expected to see. Not only on this map, but in the entire match. The movement, it was so smart. It was so well planned. Not only gathering the first pick, but also, the way that they play around the rotations. They were not rushing anything. All the utility was down on 8, and they also, the way that they played around the Viper utility, especially from the enemy one, just knowing the timings, knowing that they're gonna go for the wall, just deny the plant. Just deny it. Don't let it happen. And that's a round for them.
That's one of the best ways to get it, right? Let your opponents play themselves. And for the most part, this was just slow defaults. This time, though, Rix are changing it up. 3-player aggression in towards this choke point right at the start. Ness seems to be making easy work of them. And a triple kill. That's a 3-man B stack. And they don't get anything for it. Oxxgen bouncing right back with what should be an easy round win.
Oh, I am so sad about this, because the aggression, I love it. I understand that, that you want to take control over green and just not even denying the push, but also gathering that control and maybe work from them, and maybe 3 people push from the back, because Oxxgen has proven that they love A. So maybe working around that. But those picks early, this is going to be probably the 7th one for Oxxgen, because probably Rix wants to save that operator, and taking a situation 5v2 when they have the res, they have the lockdown. Yeah, this is not going to happen.
Yeah, about as easy as it gets, right? That early fight, and then the round's over within the first, 10 seconds. And I do love the adaptation. I love the changes out of Rix. They had a very passive round before. Oxxgen had the response to that, which was going for an aggressive B push. And Rix had almost read perfectly into that. It's just the execution that was really the problem there. The fact that they lose all 3 aim duels is the reason that 7-2 is on the board. This is starting to get pretty scary if Oxxgen managed to chain together any more rounds. it could be next to impossible to get back in.
And probably Rigs have to go for what it worked for them. Maybe Padge is trying to get that opening kill and then play around that. Probably we're going to see some aggression coming from that onto A. And we see from the pings on the map that there's probably going to Oxxgen be taking some control over Kitchen and probably walking towards A again. But I feel like this is a good defense setup for Rigs, so let's see what they can work with it.
Deploying drone.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on the players holding up above. Because as this drone comes around and spots Padge, okay, they're actually going to completely give up the control, which is the right call. But without that, you still have to be conscious of someone peeking up top. And that's where I think Noia had that responsibility. Instead, Noia's rotating over and picking 2 on the run through to mid. They have split that push in half, and they have dealt with the mid part of it so easily.
Yeah, and it's what you said. It's so important to, you know, when you cannot take the control, just give up, regroup, just play to your strengths. That was beautiful. Also, Noia not being scared, and also, you know, following the call from Jupi, being like, hey, I spotted someone running to you towards mid, so take care of that. Ooh.
Wow. That was a nice shot. Let's go another. Oh, that was even a
gonna be another one.
That was a little wall bang that went through onto Sonya. Very, very close. There's a picture-in-picture of some settings. Maybe we've got to copy those if we want to be a pro. I'm writing them down right now. Oh no.
No, come on.
Go.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
I mean, I
Okay.
cannot really see them, but someone take a screenshot and send it to us, please.
It's
because
like-
we need to step up our game.
Like in the Jason Bourne movies, like, can we zoom in on that? Enhance it? The way they add in all the extra pixels, make these blurry CCTV cameras like HD. We need that. I couldn't read any of the words there. But with those settings, I'm sure I'll be a pro.
I mean, yeah, you already are a pro, Mitch. No worries.
Oh, thank you. Just don't bring up the show match. It was, I don't ever want to remember that.
I mean, I was great. That's all I'm going to say.
That is true. You were. Well, Ritha getting away with a free kill here. This really puts Jupi in a bad position. Pincered between, has no idea how many players are coming from main, first of all. And it is just Ritha. If Jupi manages to shut her down, this could be huge. Ness down below. Look at this. There's no way they check it. They've just killed their teammate up close. We're taking the fight at least. Proxima with a double, and Ness now chooses her moment to strike. But somehow Padge expects it. Okay, the wall off. Can actually go in here and try to defuse it. That's going to be really tight when it comes down to timing.
It's just big. It's
Never mind,
really
my audio
big.
was off.
Yeah. Your audio was off?
I was misreading the pings. I thought it was way closer to blowing up.
Oh. Okay, but I wanted to say this is another type of round from Oxxgen. I really like the way that they're using the utility every single round. We know how expensive that Sage Wall is, but they have a plan for every single run with it. That is something that we love to see. I feel like Riggs is already reading into that. They know when to give up the space, they know when to give up the control, and what they have to do to regain it. Obviously, I feel like Jupi was very important there in that round and the movement around the map.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, if Jupi dies there, the round is probably gone. Like, that was impeccable movement. And as we said, you know, letting Oxxgen off this 7 mark is very, very bad for Riggs. And they have managed to bounce right back. They've put the 4 on the board, now looking for a 5th. And it's going to be ending exactly as it started. A retake play on A. And Riggs will again have that 5v5 retake into the site. But there's so much utility to fight against.
And it's not only that, we saw also Padge just, you know, trying to get that back control, but they're going to give up on it since the Viper Spit is now. This is going to be a tough one, but this is a Riggs that can do it. I 100% believe.
Already found the opening pick, and they're going to use a Viper's Pit to get towards the site. That tag right away, Noia in trouble, and it's Raina that goes down. You've even managed to light up Jupi. That is a huge Hunter's Fury. Padge up close, gets shut down. Ritha is on fire right now, and it is just being cleaned up by the rest of Oxxgen. A dominant close to this half, but with 4 rounds on the board, Riggs have given themselves an opportunity.
But that was a beautiful round from Oxxgen, and it was so typical, so classical. We know that we said that this comp was meant for playing for post plan, and that is exactly what they did. They had all the angles covered. It's not only, you know, the fact that the Viper's ult is there, also the, you know, using everything because it's the last round. We saw the counter Viper's pit, but it was just not enough. I feel like Noia hasn't used her rest in this entire half, but I still believe that just the way it started and the way it's ended, I don't think this is extremely bad for Rix, but I also feel like the defense for Oxxgen on this icebox is just supreme. So let's see what happens on this first round, because obviously Rix needs this pistol.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the last one was a bit disappointing. Look at the difference, though, in Oxygen's setup on this defensive side. Sure, we saw Rix do a similar thing in terms of stacking up B and mid, playing for your retake on A, conventional enough for pistol, but Oxygen having all this utility from Gaia on the site, the nano swarms, the alarm bot even invested into.
Quick rotations.
This could be absolutely massive for slowing it down and allowing those rotates to come in. In fact, never mind. Gaia's just running onto this site. Absolute lunatic. And it works out for 2 kills. 3 kills, in fact. This is, it's one hell of a pistol out of Oxygen. Just really shutting them down.
Oh. And obviously, Gia just getting the last kill, and it's completely different, as you were saying. But when the Viper wall went down, they exactly knew what was gonna happen. Gia was also very ballsy to just take that duel, being like, okay, I mean, and once she got the first headshot, she was like, okay, this duel is mine. I can prevent the plan from here. So not only that I have my utility down, is the fact that I can support my team just from the inside. We don't have to play this retake. There is no need. The timings were perfect, so clean from Oxygen. Also, very early usage of the wall onto kitchen. They didn't want any rush through there, so I'm really liking it.
You know, at this point, with the pistol going Oxygen's way, we look to the next round when they're on a bonus. That's where Rix need to show it up. For now, Oxygen want to just keep as many of these weapons through as they physically can. And on the defensive side, that's generally pretty easy to do. I will point out again, they're playing a hard retake on A. They have literally no one on the site. A 3-player essentially mid-hold, and then just utility covering A. This is risky if Rix did manage to make it to the site, but luckily,
yeah,
the rotates come in.
Yeah, and also the drone is gonna gather that info on mid. There's no one there. She got the info that it was at least 3 players, but nothing is found. So the rotation is gonna be probably coming in as the Viper wall is coming down as well. This is going to be a fast rotation from Oxygen onto A.
Oh, Ritha, good to catch one, shutting them down around the side. Gaia is in charge of the A side. That is for damn sure. Back-to-back 3Ks. What a way to set the tone of this half. The lockdown already online, so I guess we're going to see another retake on A. And with double digits on the board, they've got to be feeling great over on that Turkish side.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty comfortable. Gia's gonna use her defensive setup again onto A. They can play around that lockdown. She could literally just leave the point and support mid to at least know that if you're gonna play A for retake, mid is going to be clear at all times. I've actually seen a triple stack there onto B. Why not? And the Viper wall from Rix is also going there. Oh, let's see, because Marshall could be everything here.
Enemy tag.
Okay, they got the info.
Both players spotted as well, and they're still deciding to push up.
Oh.
That's the danger, right? You're going into a choke point up against a Marshall. Ness might miss once, might even miss twice, but that third one connects right onto the head of Jupi.
Sonya's gonna get her ult.
This is going to be
massive
dangerous.
to help the push.
I mean,
I would use it. I would use it, to be honest. If I would just wait for the next. She already has the recon, so I would just use it and try to clear some space for my team. It's a 4v4, but you definitely 100% need this round. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it would be a little different if she still had the drone online. Obviously, they used that right at the start of the round. But I agree with you, right? For clearing out space, we've seen the impact it can have with a snake bite, for example. This didn't quite have the impact that they hoped for, though. Sending Padge to try and lurk up through the B site. She gets caught, but now an opportunity presents itself. A big weakness around middle, and as they rotate around to the A side, I mean, Gaia is all alone on this side. Oh, that could be a kill if Gaia peeks all the way out. Look how low Raina is, and Sonya, in fact. And they're playing into not only Killjoy utility, but also the lockdown. I mean, this is going to be a really, really tough round for Rix.
Yeah, it's not only that, Gia also has the Vandal, so she could have some easy shots there. They're so low, even the turret is gonna spot them. See if they can manage to get the plant, because this could be perfectly another round from Oxygen. Being really passive. Look at how closely they're watching out on what's happening on mid. Oh, but Raina's gonna get the kill!
That's huge. It could be another there as well. The challenge coming in, and Raina walking away with a triple, owning middle to leave Ness all alone. Everybody is one hit to this weapon. It's essentially an operator, but it doesn't matter because Noia shuts her down before a shot can even be fired. 10-5. That was a really rough round for Rix. I mean,
and thank God that Raina was there to take that mid control, not only finding the first but also the second duel. That was literally, and we saw Oxxgen playing around that. They knew that something was going to happen around mid, but still, she won the duels and the round for his team.
Yeah, it was really, really nice. If you think about it, they've gotten away with a decent round versus a bonus. 2 players dying is essentially like the. You don't want to lose any more than that, or your investment is going to be astronomical. But even still, look at what it's done to their economy. As they get all their weapons out, it's even light shields coming in on Jupi and Padge, and they're really, really running out of credits. So this isn't quite the clean one that you were hoping for.
And it's surprising how the timeout comes from Oxxgen, because they're doing pretty good. It was a bonus from them. As you were saying, it was not about results at all. So it was a pretty clean round for both teams, but it should favor Rix more. So let's see. I wonder. I just wonder.
It's that operator on ness that has
that's my wonder. Yeah.
Because we saw the impact that Rix were able to pull out with it, right? When Padge was going for the mid pushes. Obviously, though, the utility counters have been really on point. And I think taking a look at Rix's defense, for example, Oxxgen were using their drone before clearing out into any spots. That's what stopped Padge from ever really getting aggressive on A. And when you're a Jet and you're being met by that kind of counter utility constantly that shut down your opportunities, you can start to feel deflated. This is where Rix need to make ness feel that same thing that Padge experienced in half number 1.
And they're managing to force her out of her position. But still, the operator is going to be there. She's going to dash away. She's not going to find the entry. And ooh, be careful, because Gia with the Marshal is not going to be as lucky.
Yeah, shut down onto Gia. She had no money, so she picked up the remaining weapon from the previous round, but nothing to be found with it. And here comes a Viper's Pit to just guarantee the round for Rix. At least in theory, it does.
Yeah, and even though that wall is kind of late, it doesn't really matter. They could literally just play for Sova's ult. She's not going to back away. I'm concerned about the push, but no, this has to be a save. Ness cannot lose that operator.
They almost didn't have a choice. In fact, Ness is in a bit of trouble. There's a player right above her. And now she's been spotted. This is going to be... Oh! That was an ambitious dash out of Padge. I appreciate it. Making the decision now on whether they want to take that off. And now Rix are right back into the game.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that she didn't pick it up right away. Like, I see an operator, I know that I'm playing Jet, and I know that actually it was that first open kill that I was getting from my team that actually got us like 2 or 3 rounds on the defense, so I will 100% go for it. And you were mentioning it, we were talking about it during the entire game. The usage of utility is so thought through every single round. I love when teams, you know, plan their rounds around their ultimates, and they know exactly how and where to do it. See if they can pull more, because I'm actually surprised by Rix. I thought this was going to be an easy one for Oxxgen, this first map, at least.
Now, considering how it started as well, it was definitely looking that way, even when we move away from the pregame. At the halftime, it was looking like Oxxgen had it locked down, especially with that pistol win. Now they're in much shakier position. A couple of pistols to play with. Marshall that gets shut down immediately. Yeah. And Rix looking set to have 7 relatively easily.
Yeah, it's the second round in a row that we see Gia playing with that Marshall. She was not as lucky as at the beginning. Jupi here's probably gonna find Ness. Yeah, exactly. Just backing out. But this was going to be a quick round favoring Rix. They're not gonna pull anything crazy. Just go on to A easily. Just the classic round.
Last player standing.
Okay, 1 kill. I mean, it's nothing really. That's a solid enough round out of Rix. They're going to be very happy indeed. Bladestorm online coming into this one, but with an operator, I think we're probably going to see Padge sticking with that scope.
Yeah. It's also the fact that Oxxgen didn't play the bonus as a bonus per se. They decided to go onto that full buy. They didn't manage to get it, and for the next 2 rounds, it's kind of a, you know, unorthodox buy. You got to work off of that. But Ness is back on the operator. We've seen her done crazy things only with a Marshall, so I mean, she can pull it through. Could be the next one from Oxxgen. They're losing kind of a, you know, all the gas that they started with.
Yeah, I think they have the excuses for the other round. Right? The other rounds they lost, as you said, there's been a lot of reasons that they're falling behind. And I think a lot of it comes down to just sitting there at one point and saying, hey, we're a better team. Let's just force it up. Let's take them down right here and now. It didn't work out, and that gives Rix the way back into the series, or into the map at least. This is where Oxxgen need to show up, though. No more excuses. Big miss out of Ness. The drone gets a lot of information now. 3 players spotted on A because of that. And the instant reaction from Rix is to hit that B side.
Yeah, and Jupi gathering the orb and also gathering the spike. She wants to get the plant because that also is going to grant her ultimate. They can play around that, just placing that wall, getting the safest plant possible, and just playing for post plant. This is what this composition is made for. Ooh.
That was ambitious. Very
I mean,
ambitious.
obviously, you want some control, but you have no info. So it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it is, definitely. That's where you'll see often a recon arrow fired out to try and clear it out, a drone to follow something, some form of information, right? Or a second player peeking down below, but they went in blind on that one. This is where the Hunter's Fury gets used up to destroy the lockdown. The problem is they've destroyed the rest of her team, so they just run on in, take Sonya down, and get an easy defuse. Not a single player lost on the side of Oxxgen. And Rix committed a lot to that in terms of ult economy.
Yeah, they knew that it was a very important round, and I really like the way that they played it. You know, you're showing all the respect. But when you're playing this composition, we were hearing not only on the desk, but also you saying that, you know, we're not really seeing Sky here, yada yada. It's the fact that you're playing with a Soul Initiator, and all the means that you have to gather that information early in the round is just with Sova. So you use that drone, you gather the info. There's at least 2 players here, maybe 3, and you're like, you know, it's just too much. They were probably expecting some kind of a push. They see the situation with the lockdown and say like, okay, let's go to B, play around this. But Oxxgen was just too smart and had also the means to stop the lockdown from having the effect that Rix wanted it to have.
Yeah, I think if Noia had more luck, let's say, on that play, walling up, going into kitchen, that could have completely changed the round. But that spirals them a little bit once she falls. That they use the lockdown right away. They use the Hunter's Fury and then obviously lose the duels. With Padge falling at the start of this round, that's a decent loss for them now. The res available for Noia, but I mean, it's starting to become a selection of players to revive. I don't even know that it's worth it at this point, but at 11-7, why not?
Oh, they're gonna go for it. Operator back online. She can also play with her ultimate, and now that they know that the execute is gonna be onto A, anything can happen. There's only Ritha inside of the site.
There's a bit of support around the side, but it's a bit of a tricky angle. Take a look at where Rix currently are. They're waiting for another burst to come out of this Viper so they can have the wall up and get the plant in. Padge able to grab one, but the return is there so damn quickly. rainssa doing damage. Noia shut down on backside, and Sonya's all alone yet again. Oxxgen just looking too clean in these full buy rounds. They are at 12-7. We need to see 5 in a row out of Rix. They have any chance of staying alive on Icebox.
Yeah, that is one of the keys. It's not only that it is a full buy, it's the fact that I think that they've read already onto Rix's plan. The fact that if they just, I think they actually know how to react when they go A. How much space do we want to give? How much pressure do we want to? How much do we want to fight for that first duel when the plan is coming in? And also, you know, individually, they're shining.
Yeah, they're looking fantastic, and I think we heard it in the interview earlier that there's no weakness on the Oxxgen side. On game sense, they're all on point. On aim, they're all on point, and really, the thing that separates them from everyone else, at least in their opinion, is just the fact that they have everything. I suppose tactically is where I was looking at it thinking, okay, sometimes you can have good players, but actually making them gel well together is a very, very difficult task. And looking at how Oxxgen played, especially on their attack, man, it was clean. I'm really liking this team.
I would like from Rix right now, since they have the timeout, to maybe put on that pressure onto mid that actually gave them 2 or 3 rounds in this attack, something that they've been lacking the past couple. I'd say that also been fine than the first death there. But they know that they need that control. Also, probably the Sage Wall is going to be used early on to kitchen. That's also been kind of repetitive from Oxxgen, so they should, think about where the pressure wants to be. I like that they're already walking towards it.
We'll see if they're going to follow through, and it certainly looks like it for now. The last couple of seconds till the barriers go up, and we're going to have a mid-fight from both sides. Ness up above on top of the wall, but they are so ready for that play. Good read by Rix.
Yeah, and it's all about mid control. I mean, not all, but obviously, also Oxxgen reading into that again. They did it when they were on the attack. They've done it again. They knew that they're going to go for the mid control. Ness was unable to get that first pick. Let's see what Rix does. because they still have, you know, all the utility to and the means to walk anywhere on the map.
They've got plenty of time as well, so they don't need to feel shoehorned into anything. A 3-man walk through a poison orb, that's one way to handle it for sure.
Oh, God.
Ritha? That's the spike down. I was about to compliment Rix for putting down the Viper wall that allows them to cross for free, but now they've got to fight back towards their own spawn while the rotates come in. They've dealt with Ritha quick enough that it shouldn't be that much of a problem. In fact, never mind. Look at where Oxygen are already. They've reclaimed the site, essentially, if they wanted to, stalling at the last second, though, and allowing Rix to get in for a free plant.
Take care, because if Proxima gets the kill, she also has her ultimate to
left.
play around. Be surprised to Padge not to use her ultimate and maybe go for the duel. It's risky, but it's a big round.
Oh, I've spotted Noia. This could be it. Padge, all alone. Viper's pit goes up and she's been spotted above. They know exactly where she is. She looks to drop down. The feeder spotted on the ledge. And that will be the end of map number 1. Oxygen showing up for a 13-7. I have to say, I'm blown